We have Donald Trump Jr., who was in court again this morning. There he is. You hear the protesters chanting, crime family, and that is basically what these people are, a crime family.
It started with a crowd yelling outside the courthouse, and then boom, it blew up on live TV. Jimmy Kimmel called out something Trump's team probably hoped no one would catch. But it didn't just land, it hit hard. So hard, someone might have actually called the cops. Why would one late night joke cause this much drama? And what did Jimmy say that shook them so bad? You're about to see it for yourself. No edits, no hype, just real footage, real reactions, and what it really says.
On the other side of humanity's coin, we have Donald Trump Jr., who was in court again this morning. There he is. You hear the protesters chanting, crime family, and that is basically what these people are, a crime family, a very dumb crime family, the Gambozos, if you will. And Don Jr., he's so embarrassing. He's on the stand, he's testifying in this $250 million fraud trial, and he has to compliment, he said his father is an artist with real estate.
Don Jr. stood in court and called his dad an artist during a $250 million fraud trial. Yes, really, under oath, no punchline needed. Outside, people were already chanting crime family. And inside, Jimmy Kimmel took that one line and lit the whole thing on fire.
I'm not supposed to rely on a big five accounting firm, like one of the biggest accounting firms in the world. I can pay them millions of dollars. I rely on them to do accounting, but I'm supposed to know more than them. By this logic, insurance companies are going to start suing patients for listening to their doctors. Right? Do you understand? Like, am I supposed to know more? Oh, Don Jr. doesn't know anything about it. I'm not an accountant. I'm a business guy.
I'm a business guy who had his elbows soldered together, and now...
Don Jr. showed up with what he thought was a smart defense, blame the accountants, trust the professionals, and walk away clean. But Jimmy Kimmel flipped it instantly. If trusting the experts gets you off the hook, then why are CEOs ever held accountable? It wasn't just bad logic, it was the perfect setup for a late night takedown.
I wonder what's going through his head right now.
I should have worn makeup.
Oh, yeah, good one. Here's the thing about Don Jr. What he lacks in intelligence, he also lacks in charisma. So
here's the thing about Don Jr. He doesn't just lack the facts. He lacks presence. No confidence, no spark, just awkward answers and nervous energy. And when Jimmy dropped that punchline, you could feel it land. Don Jr. showed up to defend Donald Trump, and instead he handed Jimmy Kimmel his best moment yet.
The only thing that would make it worse is if somebody changed the lyrics to a song by his beloved Village People to drive it home.
Taco, taco man. I want to be a taco man. Taco, taco man. Yeah. I've got to be a taco. Taco, taco man. I want to be a taco man. Taco, taco man. I've got to be a taco.
Instead. This could be the new YMCA. They can play it at rallies. You can do TACO. Right?
If you thought Don Jr. crashed, just wait. Because next up, Trump walked right into a musical meltdown. One tiny slip, and suddenly the spotlight was on him, and it didn't let up. This wasn't just another roast. This became a soundtrack, and what came out of it might be the wildest thing ever played at a political rally.
Yesterday, he blew up at a reporter because she asked him about a new nickname that's been making the rounds on Wall Street. They're calling him Taco, which is an acronym for Trump always chickens out. Taco. And you're not going to believe this. He doesn't like the nickname at all. She asked it, he called it a nasty question, but it seems there's been an outpouring of taco-themed AI on social media featuring our Crunchwrap Supreme Leader in all manner of chicken garb, rooster hair, and this master five-piece family meal, all in celebration of our El Pollo Loco.
Jimmy Kimmel wasn't just clowning. This thing took off like wildfire. Taco Man stopped being a joke and turned into a full-blown anthem. The internet grabbed it, remixed it, and spawned Trump's ego into a dance track. And the worst part for Trump? It didn't fade. It stuck.
You call that chickening out? 6 months ago, this country was stone cold dead. We had a dead country. We had a country people didn't think it was going to survive, and you ask a nasty question like that. It's called negotiation, but don't ever say what you said. That's a nasty question.
And if Taco Man has been living rent-free in your brain since Jimmy sang it, you're not the only one. The timing couldn't have been worse for Trump because the very next day, he lost it on a reporter who dared to bring up a nickname that's been floating around Wall Street, Taco. Short for Trump always chickens out. Yeah, that's what broke him.
But according to the story, in 2018, Donald Trump, who was at that time president of the United States, was so upset about my jokes that I made about him, he directed his staffers at the White House to call Disney to tell them to rein me in. The report says at least 2 calls were made from the Trump White House to, quote, convey the president's anger regarding Kimmel's monologues and jabs. In other words, President Karen demanded to speak to my manager.
Trump didn't just hate the nickname, he lost it on the spot. The reporter asked about Taco, and he fired back like it was a personal attack, calling it a nasty question. Meanwhile, the internet was already roasting him with AI tacos, chicken armor, and Crunchwrap memes. And by the time people were calling him El Puloco, it wasn't just viral, it was permanent.
Donald Trump, who was at that time president of the United States, was so upset about my jokes that I made about him, he directed his staffers at the White House to call Disney to tell them to rein me in. The report says at least 2 calls were made from the Trump White House. I had like 80 texts when I woke up sending me this article from Rolling Stone. It says, Trump White House pressured Disney to censor Jimmy Kimmel. Now, Disney is the company that owns ABC, our network, and Jimmy Kimmel is me.
Trump did exactly what everyone expected. He turned a meme into a meltdown. The nickname was silly, the question was basic, but somehow he made it a national crisis. Full outrage, dramatic delivery, the whole thing. And the wildest part, that overreaction just made the nickname stick even harder.
Wow, what a plot twist. The first time Donald Trump ever tries to stop someone from talking about him on television, and it's me. Usually when he wants somebody to stop talking about him, he pays them $130,000, but he wanted me to do it for nothing. I wonder what it was. I also want to point out the Oscars were more than 6 months ago. He's still stewing over this joke. He keeps bringing it up, which I don't mind at all. In fact, I love it. I just wish he would quote it correctly. I didn't say, ha, 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 he thinks he bothers me.
Every single clip shown was real. No edits, no tricks, just public broadcast. But behind the scenes, Trump wasn't laughing. Back in 2018, while still president, he actually told his White House staff to call Disney because of Jimmy Kimmel jokes. Yeah, the man with nuclear codes wanted late night comedy censored.
Jimmy Kimmel is every night, he hits me, I guess. His ratings are terrible. He's not a talented guy. I hear he hits me all the time, so I figured I'd hit him because I thought he was a lousy host.
See if you can guess which former president just posted that on Truth. Anyone? No? Well, thank you, President Trump. Thank you for watching. I'm surprised you're still. Isn't it past your jail time? I guess I should be honored that the former president of the United States took time out of his busy schedule Googling Ivanka in bikini to rant about me, but...
Jimmy Kimmel woke up to a flood of texts, all pointing to one wild headline. Rolling Stone had just confirmed that Trump's own White House pressured Disney to shut Jimmy down. Not a rumor, not a joke, straight up censorship from the top. And instead of walking away, Trump picked up the phone and called the boss.
See, we have a new round of randomly levied tariffs. This morning, the White House doubled tariffs on aluminum and steel. Well, he did promise to stop the steal. And the president has now slapped a 50% tariff on metals. Experts say higher prices for us are inevitable. We should expect to pay more for construction, for cars, even appliances. He's taking us to the cleaners. Literally, soon we will not be able to afford a washer or dryer. There's no plan, unless you consult the MAGAverse, in which case there is and was definitely a plan.
I think he's had a plan all along, David, and I think we're seeing it play out.
This was his strategy all along.
This was the plan all along.
Was that his plan all along? It certainly looks like it.
This is the plan that he was pursuing all along.
I mean, you're watching the art of the deal in real time here.
Well, if that was the plan, congratulations, because in 1 week, the plan lost $6 trillion, and every country in the world hates us now.
Trump had the nuclear codes, but used his power to try and cancel a comedian. Not once, but twice. And instead of shutting the joke down, he accidentally gave it headlines. The guy who usually pays people to stay quiet wanted Jimmy Kimmel to do it for free.
I mean, Donald Trump has said I'm not talented so many times, Erica's starting to get jealous, but what he doesn't realize is that I love this. I love that this bothered him so much. I love that Fox picked a news guy nobody knows to interview him, and I especially love when he tries to spin the fact that everyone was laughing at him into a positive. The fact of the matter is, this is a dangerous person, this is a stupid person, and that's a bad combination. And I think what we're forgetting, I keep forgetting it.
Trump tried to shut Jimmy Kimmel down, but all he did was make the spotlight brighter. Instead of silence, he gave Jimmy a megaphone. And the crowd's only gotten louder. Months later, Trump's still spiraling, Jimmy's still smiling, and now the whole country's in on the joke. If that ride kept you watching, drop a like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.